the Harris County Fire Marshal, Laurie Christensen, who is both an alumna and one of our adjunct instructors, happens to be online right now. So
excellent. So hi, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, so I can't even begin to imagine the number of emergency operations meetings that you're in on a weekly basis. I know here at the university we've had, oh, goodness knows, numbers of Zoom calls every day.
Yes.
And every week. So I'd love to hear a little bit about how your week goes with that.
It's been a total different operation. You know, we're very hands-on. So the Fire Marshal's office is a law enforcement agency. And in addition to working with, in Harris County, the 56 fire departments and almost 100 law enforcement agencies, it's been very interesting because many of our alumni from the police chiefs and emergency management group come from Sam Houston. So a lot of us either went to school together or some of us still teach there. Some of the things that we do, these Zoom meetings are something we didn't learn about. This online discussions, I mean, you can't teach that. And so it's been very interesting because we're all about networking. And as you know, and Dr. Lyons was actually one of my instructors, and he always encouraged the networking aspect. Know that person next to you. Be able to have their phone number in your phone. Be able to contact somebody for assistance. And I'll tell you, it's really paid off because what's happened here, we've seen the law enforcement, EMS, fire service, we've come together more than ever. When the orders come out from the state and from our local partners, we're really having to engage and talk to each other. You talk about the Texas Education Association. As a fire marshal, I wouldn't be expecting, you know, we go in, we do the inspections of schools and things like that. We're working with TEA. How can we help the students who now you look at the field that we teach at Sam Houston, we're looking at domestic violence. We're looking at victim studies, the security management you're talking about, more so than ever. Those people who aren't familiar with the National Incident Management System and who aren't familiar with putting together these org charts and looking at our Constitution and our state laws, that for a normal week for us now is a lot more research than I thought I would still happen to be doing. I mean, usually you just kind of know the answers and you go with it, but it's been a lot of learning. But the Zoom calls have been phenomenal, and then we've used Skype and Zoom and those things. And I'll tell you, I just today I had my first lunch with a person in person, and one of the things we talked about was being able to see each other and that connection. And I know for the students, that is so important. When I went to Sam Houston, being able to see my fellow students and talk and sometimes gripe about the work, those things, you know, it was important to us because it was our way to communicate. So I'm just, it's a lot. And I think these new students, you know, our motto obviously with Sam is, you know, service, you know, service of life, basically. And I think these students historically now they're going to be historical, the first class like this, and they're going to carry that service on, and they're going to be that group that says we learned from an actual pandemic. We learned from the experience, and we're going to take the service that we learned and we're going to carry that forward.
Yeah, you know, I look at some of our students right now and you realize some of them that are graduating or are juniors, their first semester at SAM, if you're a junior or coming into a junior year, was fall 17 with Hurricane Harvey. So we've got a couple of classes that are going to have experienced historic events.
Yes.
Every time they were students. And I think the adaptability that they can bring to the workplace by learning to adapt through those environments will be huge for us in the future. And I agree with you. I mean, I know some of our folks down in the Houston area that are graduates of the College of Criminal Justice and like yourself and doing very well. We're well represented across the state, but having done certified NIMS training, I didn't realize I would have to pull on that in my current role. But there's no, like you said, this is all new. There's no rule book. I mean, this is making judgment calls on a daily basis of how do you do all of this just like you're doing. So I truly appreciate what you're doing there from a leadership standpoint, and can't even begin to imagine the hardships with something as large as the Houston region.
Well, again, we thank you. We thank you for the support of Sam Houston. And I'll tell you, I hope some of these graduates we have, you talked about the master's degree. Bring what you've learned through this experience, whether it be through your job, whether it be education, come back to Sam and get that master's degree, because you are so right about the security studies program. I see that, Nim Kidd, who's the emergency management director for the state of Texas, I talk to him regularly, and I will tell you, you're going to see in the state of Texas, emergency management become a certified skill set. You're going to see it go more into FEMA and those things. So what you guys are teaching, please come back and get that master's degree in it.